Alrighty, I am playing Dominions 5, which is a 4X strategy game. It is about playing as a pretender god of one of several nations vying for ascension. I am calling this just this because of the nation I'm going to be playing. And I have already played one with that name, so obvious. Doing 4 players, I am not doing random because I am going to be doing the first city, and I will probably be talking a lot more about this more in depth, but this shows the basic roster of my guys. There are various commanders which I'm able to recruit, various units I'm able to recruit. I also get to start with a number of capital specific buildings with some of my specific commanders, which have various magics, priest levels. I'll be talking a lot about things as we go on, and some of them also produce gems, which are used for magic. Basically, I get to make a god. I've already made one which is not amazing. I will show it in just a moment. It is Gilgamesh as a sage. Um, these are just rules for starting and all. I am going to, not that many, up the amount of points required, going to give a number of extra thrones to be able to take. I want like there. So need like a majority, but not every single throne to win the game. And here's where let it generate a new map. It will take a bit of time as it does various things, because as you will see, it's not like how most 4X games are set up with just a standard grid and terrain for things. It is a province system and various regions with various terrains which it draws and various things. It's not the most beautiful game, but by that matter, it also isn't the hardest for a computer to run. So a bit about we get a number of magics. Nature, water, air, earth are the main ones. We're also able to get some death magic from swamps where we have special recruitable units. Um, our number of actual fighting units is rather limited, and they aren't fantastic. They are bigger than normal humans, so they are able to take a bit more damage. But one major downfall is the fact that they don't wear helmets. Um, Gilgamesh, the god we have, has 2 major blesses it gives to sacred units, which we have 2 sacred units. They both are only recruitable in the capital. He gives 2 blesses, one of which is... Alright, well, it's loaded in, so I'll talk about that once we get there. As you can see, there are 2 messages. Basically, how every game starts is just this little message. Basically, the idea for Dominions is that, well, gods fought. There was one who won in the previous battle, but he left, and now it starts again, and we all vie for the Thrones of Ascension to win. Or you can defeat everyone. So this is the map. I have east-west scrolling on, so it eventually comes back around. Wow, that is a big water province right next to us. Ironically, there's another throne sitting right in a water province right next to us. But we started down in a corner, which is not the greatest. So about our god, Gilgamesh, he has very high astral magic, which gives us the Fate Weaving Bless. Basically, if people try to hit him or any of the sacred units, they become quite unlucky. Easier to hit, take more damage. And he also has some high earth magic, which makes our people unbreakable, which is affliction resistance. Yeah, he is a really good researcher and makes other people who are in the same area good researchers, and he has a little bit of nature magic because we want to be able to have that option for him. For now, he is just going to research because we do not want to get him sent off and killed. As for research, I'm going to start us off with construction, which lets us get various magical items and other things going, which is pretty nice and useful. I'm going to say up to 4 because that's where we're able to get a lot of the items which can boost magic. So we have 2 sacred units besides the various priests and mages we have. Enki's Chosen, which are rather like our other guys, but slightly better equipped and stat-wise. So any sacred unit is able to receive a bless, and our other sacred unit, which also I can only recruit 1 per turn, are these Mushushus. Whatever. This will be a very much thing of me mispronouncing things. They are landless ground dragons, which have, as you can see, paws of a lion and hind legs of an eagle, and a serpent tail. They get multiple attacks, which is really good. They cause fear, and they're resistant to poison. Unsurroundable is a perk which makes them easier to face multiple people at once, which is important because they are rather large, and that means that they can be having to contend with many people. We have a lot of mage options. This is the one we're going to use a lot for research because they're very cheap. Give us just nature magic and level 1 priest. Priests allow us to do various things such as blessings or smiting undead or other summoned beings. These Salmes, they have water and nature. Not a great combination. Gudus are really good because they have a chance of either being 2 earth or 2 air, either of which gives a lot of good spells. The Sheebs are double water and then have a chance for another elemental path. They are okay, but the earth or air is a stronger set of spells that we're going to be getting. The N2s are good earth, slightly good nature, and then have another path out of these 4. They're pretty good, but a bit expensive. They're also inspirational, which give extra morale, but since she can't really lead many, only 10 normal and 15 magical troops, not much. These NCs, though they are slow to recruit for the commander amount, they're able to lead a lot of people, have good bonuses, and they can do some pretty good buffs for people. I'm going to be wanting to have at the single Mishushu, we can train every turn, and also getting lots of these galas so that we can have lots of research going. So for first turn, we don't have much information. I'm going to send the scout off to look at this province specifically, and we will be definitely going out with our commander next turn. He currently just has a stack of 15 of our soldiers who have bronze hatchets, which are actually pretty good, despite the fact that they don't wear helmets or stuff. So I guess that reminds me. He is going to become our prophet, which means that he is a priest level 3, which will allow him to give some blessings. Now, one thing about sacred units is that they require holy points, so we can only get so many in a turn. Besides that, I am also going to grab a hornblower because we are out of resources. Troops require 3 kinds of resources: gold, resources, and recruitment points. Commanders require commander recruitment points, and sacreds also take a holy point. That is very simply our turn. One last thing, the other aspect of creating pretender gods, which I can go into detail at other times, for one, you can choose the form, which determines a lot of what magics he can take, but it also determines what bonuses we get for our god's dominion, which, as we can see, is currently just in and for some reason in this water province. Our scales, which determine our dominion, give us how strong it can be. We are misfortunate, so we have more events and a less likelihood that they are good. We have growth 3, which makes supplies higher, and our provinces will be growing in size. Heat 3, so our places are pretty hot. We aren't going to have to deal with any winter issues, so we have lowered income and supplies, and then we have 1 point of turmoil. Order is the better form of that. Turmoil gives us some unrest, lesser recruitment points. Not great, but it allowed me to go higher on Astral, which is not a great path for him, but more for thematic purposes. And also we can, if we ever get up to Conjuration 8, which is pretty expensive, we have a nation spell for Apkalu, which is a really good commander mage unit. Okay, ending turn for real this time. One other country, Vanheim, decided to declare their profit, and obviously we declared ours. Also, your god gets titles based on the various magics they choose. We have various things of fate because of our high stellar magic, or astral, as well as our bless for it. Just as a thing, that's not the one I wanted. We are against, let's see, Pelion, who is with Vanheim. Matari, which is with Machaka. They have various spider riders and all sorts of cool things. And Theon, who is with Tianchi, Spring and Autumn, which have some pretty cool elemental guys. Very widespread for that. We'll actually be getting to see where they are. Okay, so around us, 40 people, heavy infantry, that would be hard to take. Mainly militias, pretty easy to take. Ooh, barbarians can hit hard. Not a great thing to do. So, gonna set up the sacreds in one stack. This hornblower is not good at attacking, but he gives a morale buff to units he's in. He's gonna be over here. Our other group of guys is gonna be here. Nope, I don't want you. There's our prophet. So we can give battle orders for people, which can take a lot of time. Basically, just going to do a divine blessing, so all of our sacred units gain our bless, and then I want him to stay behind troops and, well, just cast spells. Basically, I want him because of the other spells he has as a priest, Sermon of Courage for morale. He's also able to cast Word of Power and Stellar Decree, which hurt people a little bit and also can stun. So I have my Sacreds in one group. I want them to hold and attack, so that means they'll wait the first 2 rounds before charging in, so that I can definitely have a Bless go off before fighting. And we are going to go after the militias and light infantry, because that's the easiest group, and definitely don't want to touch the barbarians quite yet. Ironically, all 3 of these are about the same worth, so it doesn't matter too much. This gala is just going to be researching. We actually get a decent amount already per turn because Gilgamesh as a sage, Enkidu Great Sage, is really strong researching. He has 40 plus 1, as we can see. These are just 8, which is really good for their price of 75. For recruitment, the Sacreds are nice, but since they do cost an extra 10 gold for largely not too much difference in stats, like a little higher protection, a little higher attack skill, would be better for us to focus on just, say, getting a lot of troops to be generated and pulled out. And that is, oh wow, yeah. The thrones always have pretty high armies. You cannot take them very easily. Shoggothshaw, the Mind Lord? Sounds almost like a dog. Shoggoth Paw. And we have another throne up here. Does limit our expansion. These farm areas are going to be higher income. Ooh, a swamp. That's where we could recruit some of our death mages. Another throne over there. But that's where we're ending our turn. So Machaka declared their profit. We finished our first rank of construction, and there was a battle. We do not actually get to like control the battles apart from what we ordered them. They just carry out their orders. I'm gonna put it up speed. They have a few archers which were shooting at us, but got off our blessing, and then our troops went in. I might want to tell the sacred units to attack the rear, but as you can see, the Mushushu scared them off with his fear pretty quickly, which is always nice. For a lot of the independents, it's more about causing them to rout off than necessarily having to kill every last one. So we lost one of our Enkidu soldiers, and Shushu took out 5 of them. Over time, they get experience, which increases their various skills and morale. Yes. Scout, you go off this way so we can see more. We're going to go and take care of this province since it's rather weak. Also, after another turn of training, we should be able to meet up and take out the few heavy infantries here. Heavy infantry isn't that bad, but still don't want to go into it with too little. Okay. Definitely going to grab more spears, keeping up with the galas, and they're also able to lead people out. We're also going to want Gilgamesh to go out and site search, which is where we can find various magical sites and provinces, which will generate more magical gems. As you can see up here, we get a number of gems just from the various buildings we started with in our capital, but we will want to expand that if we are to really be doing well, because a lot of the conjuration spells where we're able to summon various units, or even for spells in battles, require lots of gems. Just for interesting things, this one can cast it, and for many provinces away, it's a ritual spell and can hurt various people. But that's all we had for this turn. Alrighty. Ooh, unexpected event. Let's see this first. Well, it was something good. We found a couple of various magical gems, so who knows? There might be something in this. And it was the one that we took. Spoiler alert. Again, our guys are holding back. He casts the Divine Blessing. Summon Courage. Wow, he just got eaten. Yeah, there were very few people. Wow, they have like 3 commanders hanging out back here. Seems a little overkill for only like 10, 15 troops. But yeah, quickly scared off and defeated. They did not take out anyone, which is very nice. Yeah, this guy already has 19 XP and has experience. More morale, defense, attack skill. Pretty good. I want them to attack rearmost enemies so that they can take out various commanders. This one will also be a nice one to take. Relatively low defenses and all. That's actually surprising. Usually there should be mages or something in these, much like there's a Mind Lord over here. But might just not see it. Gonna go look at the farm provinces since those are ones we definitely want. I'm gonna send these guys down, and they will also meet up with you. Not all of them can fit in, but that is all right. we're just going to set them to be sort of to the side. They will also get the blessings. There might actually be a lot fewer barbarians. How this scouting works is there is a variable range that you can see in there. So you get a good idea, it just isn't fully certain what is in there. I'm going to recruit another hornblower so that we're able to keep some morale, though not terribly necessary against some of these independent fights. Yeah. Not too much to do in the early turns because only a few forces, only a few mages. Well, we had another interesting event. Well, a bad one this time. Misfortune in this province, the one which we just took, is up, so more events and worse events will happen, and 2 units have been cursed. Cursed is an effect which means they're more likely to die in battle. Also, before we look at the battle, we got a new famous hero, our prophet. Being a hero means that they get a heroic ability, quickness, able to move and attack quicker. They also get to show up in the super cool Hall of Fame, where apparently Hannibal is in there. Well, that's funny. Okay, but back to the battle. You can see that our forces have joined up, cast our blessing, and yeah, fairly sizable block of heavy infantry. 9, 12, 15, 18, plus 8. Again, a good little squad of commanders and heavy infantry there. But Mushusus are pretty good with the amount of health they have, and 3 attacks at just digging through infantry. However, they will pose a problem to some of our soldiers. Not too many, since we did outnumber them fairly easily. And they ran away. Yeah. Well, apparently our commander decided to go in there, or got shot by an arrow. That is sad. I'm actually going to go back and see what happened, because she was back here, and be really sad if it was an arrow just hitting her or something. Yes. Yeah, she is getting hit by the arrows. Ooh, that is very unlucky. Actually, can go and look to see the exact thing which happened to her. If I can remember, the hotkey is F1. Yep. So can see what happened to her. There she is, and we can see everything that she did in it. And ooh, yeah, she took 1 arrow and then another arrow for a whole lot of damage. This person rolled very high on the amount of damage, both times. So, bit unlucky. However, we will combine these forces of our sacred units still attacking the rear and bolstering what we have there. Then we're going to send them here, and they will start working their way around. I'm going to take 1 turn off of our mages to grab a chief and a scout, so that we can get another scout out there, figuring out where we want to go. Ooh, heavy cavalry. And there is Vanheim, one of their provinces. You can see what they're up to. But this way we can start a separate expanding force, which should pretty easily be able to take out militias. Yeah. And gonna... Actually, that's interesting. We can recruit shamblers here, which are aquatic units, also heavy infantry. The recruitable units in an area are generally dependent on the sort of units you fought there. For instance, if there were Amazons or a deer tribe in a province, you are also able to recruit those from that province. Going to recruit some spear warriors so that they'll be able to join our guys here. Jianqi finally declared fair profit. And I'm actually gonna head up this way. Gonna grab these spear warriors and throw them in, getting a pretty sizable army. Not probably enough to take on 90 plus troops. No one sitting in this province. Ooh, that is Vanheim itself. Let's just go over and see what they have then. We're gonna switch back to our gallows and Scout, you are going to head all the way over to the throne and gonna work your way up. I wonder what's in that province. Also, for our new army over here, we want him to just stay behind troops so that he doesn't get himself killed. I want these troops to attack the rear. They're pretty fast and will be able to maul through any commanders. And these guys can just step up and the commander can stick sort of with them. So actually I'll want him to hold so that he's just a little farther back if the archers are shooting at them. And they're just supposed to attack the closest people. And they should easily be able to take 20 to 30 guys. Last turn it said 30, this time 20, so they're probably in that range and quite doable. Barbarians is still quite the question mark, because they deal a lot of damage. Enough if they hit people in the head to just take them out in one hit, so not always the best thing. Alrighty, we had 2 battles. One in Gifo, which is our newer force, against, just like 9 militias, which are really bad units, though cheap. 6 heavy infantry and a few archers and 2 commanders hanging around. Which, well, they got intercepted by the heavy infantry, but they have no real chance of beating them. Some of them are already routing off. One of the mechanics is once an army has taken 75% damage or routing off a field, then the rest of them will pretty much just break. Don't think we lost a single guy from the... Yep. Both of them racking up decent kills. And finally our main army heading off into the woods with our prophet, having fun hiding back there. Just some more militia. These ones I don't even think have shields. Light infantry, 3 commanders. Very important. They pretty much will tear through most of these simple guys, and the only way that any of these would be dying is if a arrow took them in the head. Reasons why to wear helmets into battle. Yep, that was the other one. Yep, no casualties, which is very good. One of the important things to try to do early is take the provinces surrounding your capitals, because they feed resources into your castles, which I am able to build more of. And honestly, this would be a good site since we get extra resources from this one. However, they do require a good amount of gold, 750, which just a bit off of, I could say. This is another mainly militia province, so we're going to go over and take that. and then probably swing up here. These are relatively easy targets. For here, heavy cavalry can be pretty tough. So, not the easiest. I wonder where Vanheim's armies are. However, they do have a Solar Eagle, which sounds sort of like her god hanging out there, which would not be the best thing to test. Now, I think this can take on some heavy cavalry, so we're going to head on over there to figure it out. In the meantime, I do want to save up money so we can start getting our first fort under construction, so we're just going to get our mages for research and the Mishisu sense. Can only recruit one a turn and don't want to miss out. Another famous commander. What did he get? Enormous strength. So yeah, he gets +2. Strength is what helps determine your damage on weapons. Also, it determines siege strength and defense for when you're besieging stuff. And we found a lava lake here, which has fire gems and water gems per turn. We're also able to find more when we have mages go out in search. However, at the moment, I want us just getting some research in before I actually send out the people to find things. Also, higher level mages can find higher level things relating to what they have. So Gilgamesh is largely going to find Earth and Astral. The highest rank it can require is 4, so we can find any of those, and also maybe some nature sites. And yeah, let's see how the battles went. The first forest is probably this one, so our smaller force heading out. Well, this was actually a decent sized force. Good amount of militia, some heavy infantry, and there's a squad of archers over there. Yeah. One of the Mishushus got stuck, but the other one is just tearing into the archers back there. Ooh, this one got unlucky. So when you're being hit in battle, depending on how much damage you take in a hit, you can develop various afflictions. For instance, this slows them down and lowers attack and defense. And there's not really many ways to remove them. Battle Fright, I believe, goes away. It just is a morale penalty. So that's kind of sad, especially since the Bless I took, Unbreakable, helps resist those, but there wasn't a mage with that. Yeah, one of his spear guards went down, but that's not tragic. And the other one, which was against the small force of heavy cavalry, yep, quite a little chunk, and a few heavy infantry. They also had a level 1 priest. Yeah. The problem is they get a pretty powerful lance charge in. So, probably see it. Yep. At least one or so, and I would suspect the Hornblower can die being in the front line like that. It's just not a smart thing to do. However, the damage on my Enkidus are pretty strong, so they can deal with even the high protection of these guys. But the Hornblower survived. It's a miracle. That's actually surprising. They didn't run after the commanders were killed. Or, oh, those were the commanders. They ran up a bit of a way. And yeah, we lost 2 warriors, 2 soldiers. None of our elites, so. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off for now. So, thank you.